This is Gina Prince Bythewood.
Hi, this is Tammy Riker.
Hi, this is Danny Hernandez.
We're going to break down how to shoot a shootout. For the kill floor, this is the first action sequence in the film, and we knew it was going to set the tone of the film, set the tone of the whole film, but also set the tone of what the action was. So it really was like, we got to go big, and it's got to rock. But also, we have 4 people going up against 16. How can that be believable? That was kind of the directive that I gave both Tammy and Danny, is this needs to look real.
First, we mastered in front to get the wide silhouette of when they're all taken down, and then we mastered from behind the mercenaries as they come out, and then Danny broke it down into 4 sections so we could cover each person in the old guard and really cover their fight sequence without the other 3 having to go 100%.
We set the cameras up so that way we were just filling the other characters on the other side, but able to focus on 1 or 2 characters that are making their way through, and then tying them all together.
This film is absolutely an action film. It's absolutely violent, and we would be unapologetic about the violence, but it would never feel like a celebration of violence. Each character, their weaponry and their guns were specific to their character.
So Nikki had a sword, Charlize had the pistol, Joe had the shotgun, and then Hooker had an assault rifle.
For our mercenaries, we wanted to give them automatic weaponry. It is a lazy way to kill because you literally can spray with multiple bullets. But we never wanted our heroes to have that, or an audience to ever feel that our heroes would ever behave that way. In terms of the weaponry that we could use, we wanted to make sure that they could eject clips. We wanted smoke to be coming out. We wanted that reality of it, not have to rely so much on vis effects for everything. As you're acting, it's like to hear the pops. Like, it gives you something to react to. If it's totally silent and you're working with guns that don't give you any sound at all, it's very hard to get that real reaction.
When it wasn't firing blanks, the flashing is all in post. But with what we did with the mercenaries, that was creating all the smoke when they were actually firing the blanks and filling up, so you can see it get hazier and hazier as the weapons keep firing.
I believe that we used shells, like blanks, when all the mercenaries were shooting at the old guard. Everything else for the close quarter was VFX shots. The reason for that is safety. It's dangerous to have blank rounds fired in close quarter combat.
We never wanted to be pointing directly at someone when you're using blanks, so we had to be creative at times with the camera as well. But with the right angle, you never know that the camera was actually pointed just off to the side of the actor. It's got to look good, so we were able to get guns that could give us the actual shells coming out. That's such a thing that tells you that it's reality. For us, it was always this balance of how much blood, and too little and it doesn't feel real, and to the extreme where then it feels gratuitous. So that's why it was so good to have the ability to use squibs, because that is what would really be coming out. That's what feels the most natural. The squib is an actual packet that's attached to an actor's body, and there's a charge in it, and when it goes off, it gives you that realistic burst of blood and breaks through the clothing, and it looks real. And for all of us, Tammy, Danny, and I, we wanted this to feel real, every moment feel real.
As a cinematographer and a production point of view, working with the AD, you only get so many times you're going to be able to put a squib on an actor.
You only get a couple shots at it because an actor does feel something. I'm not saying it's painful, but you do feel something, so you want to do it as few times as possible.
So it took a lot of coordination of who and when, and all the cameras are aimed on that one person because they were in their hats, they were in their suits, they were on their legs.
And yes, you can add things in vis effects, and vis effects have come an incredibly long way, but there's nothing like having that real splash of blood coming at you. It's not something you can 100% recreate, especially for the shots that we shot from behind in silhouette. When they first get shot, that's all squib, and it looks, I hate saying this, but it looks amazing to see, the blood spraying in silhouette.
I really wanted to demonstrate, which I think it hasn't been shown on film, the digression of martial arts from now and digressing all the way down from 6,000 years for how long all these warriors have been living for.
So it was really digging into the choreography, the speed, how fast our old guard could come up on these guys with the automatic weapons.
All the mercenaries were all stunt people, and then we had doubles for all the actors. The doubles were probably used for maybe just one or two, just a wider shot takes, but everything else was just all the actors doing all their choreography with all the stunt players, the mercenary stunt players.
We would rehearse, meet back at the monitor, and the operators and Gina and myself would really work with Danny on seeing if the hit was believable.
It's all dependent on where the cameras are positioned at. So if the camera's positioned on certain areas, then the punch or the strike has to go across a certain way, and it has to be wide enough so that the audience can see. And then what happened, what becomes a little difficult because of a dance, we actually had the camera moving in certain areas. So if the camera is moving to a different position, you're going to have to adjust the punch for that angle to sell for that camera. When it comes to body hits, though, we do make a little contact in the body. We had all our stunt players wear protective gear on the certain areas where they'll be doing some impact. And also we had special weapons made, like where we're softer rubber, so that way it would able to not, take out our guys.
It starts with a vision and what we wanted for these action scenes. The process is to look at a lot of films, look what's been done before. There was a lot of Asian films we looked at, but really The Raid was one of the templates. Zero Dark 30, one of the templates. Because of the reality that both of those films brought, but also the creativity within the action as well.
We did a lot of research in all the different kind of martial arts. I had a very good team. I was collaborating with Gina and Tammy, on their vision of what they wanted to see. And I would show them choreography pieces, what you say, put together to see if that's what their vision, what they were looking for.
In going into this, I kept hearing stories, and I would ask, how long did it take to shoot this scene in John Wick? Or how long did it take them to do that fight scene in Mission Impossible? Like, you're always wondering, and you hear like 2 weeks, and Tammy and I, we're like, we have 3 days. How are we possibly going to do this?
Gina and I storyboarded together, and that really helped us with our plan, and we, referred back to the graphic novel.
It was about how can we make this believable, that 4 people with pistols and archaic weapons can defeat 16 mercenaries with automatic weaponry.
Gina and I, in some of our first conversations, we discussed how we wanted the old guard to be very grounded, pretty gritty, natural, and we wanted to shoot all the action sequences handheld. And we made the decision to shoot with the Alexa 65 for the incredible image quality. And there was a bit of a challenge there because it's a very heavy camera. We stayed with the handheld theme and keeping it more at eye level, using longer lenses to feel that reality, to feel like we're in there, we're a part of it.
Absolutely crucial in terms of our vision for the look of the film is shooting with long lenses, and that's not normally done with action sequences because it's much harder to hold focus. So that's why in most action sequences that you watch people, it's shot from a wide angle, a lot of times from, wide angle lens, and a lot of times from a low angle. Where we wanted to be in it, we knew we wanted that aesthetic, and we wanted the action scenes to look different.
I worked with Paul Kirby, the production designer, to create a lighting that when those 2 floodlights come on, that those are the only 2 lights. There was no lights on stands or on the floor, so that the cameras could pan 360 degrees.
Tammy and I wanted 3 separate looks for this, which was the darkness, then the brightness when the lights come on and they're revealed and they know that they've been basically screwed.
Motherfucker.
and then being able to change the lighting within that once one of the lights goes out.
And then also working with Paul to make those beautiful, super shiny, high gloss floors where you get that beautiful reflection. That shot when Andy is first down and we had a flashlight. We put flashlights on each of the guns as they're coming down the stairs, and she drops her gun and the flashlight shines right in her face, and that's when we see her eye open and her first time we see her regenerate.
At the end of the day, what we're capturing in the cameras has to be great. It has to look real. It has to be believable. The actors, we have to believe, are really fighting. Thank you very much for watching. Check out The Old Guard on Netflix.